welcome back to the podcast. It is so good to have you back.
Thank you so much for having me, Robin. I think it's been, like almost 8 months since I've been on the last one, so it's really good to be back and to chat with you. And I feel like a lot has changed since the last time I was on here, so I feel like I've got a lot of updates to share, which is exciting.
Oh my gosh, I know you have the biggest updates ever to share.
Mm.
Do you wanna should we make them wait or should we just spill the beans?
Let's make them wait.
Let's make them wait a little bit
Yeah.
because yeah, last time you came on and we talked about, your journey of continuing to build July Studio Creations, your jewelry business, and the lessons you were navigating at that stage. And right at that point, you were full time in the corporate world, and building the business on weekends, on evenings, in your free time. But like you said, like so much has changed, and I can't wait for us to dive into that. But not only has a lot changed within your business, but I've seen a lot of shifts in you. I've
Yeah.
seen a huge identity shift in you just from the outside looking in, and how you show up and how you take up space and how visible you are and how you share your story, and how you just continue to put yourself out there, and the conviction with which you do that. And so let's start there, actually. Let's start there.
Okay.
Talk to me a little bit about, you know, looking back on before coming into the academy and working with me till now. What's the biggest identity shift that you've seen? Who have you become over the last year and a half?
I think I definitely feel a lot more confident in myself and just kind of sharing my story. I definitely feel a lot more confident in being able to do that, because I think thinking back to before I joined the JBA, like I was just kind of in a place where I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have any like clear strategy or growth plan at all, and I was just kind of like making jewelry because I enjoyed doing it. And then obviously I joined the JBA and I was working with you, Robin, and I went on to, I can't remember if I mentioned this last time, but obviously went on to the retreat
Yeah.
a few years ago, and it was the best time, honestly, that I've had. And that was where I discovered like the true reason for making jewelry. And I think you had the idea of like telling the story about how like jewelry can really help you step out of your shell, and like really connecting with like the sensitive souls out there. And I thought that what you said like really clicked with me. So when I came back, I really wanted to like build on that story and really share with the community like how making jewelry and like wearing my own jewelry has really affected me and like helped me step out of my comfort zone as well. And I just really want to be able to share that message and like encourage people to kind of go through the same thing. And I feel like the more I've been talking about it on social media, the more confident I've been able to feel about like opening up and like feeling vulnerable, because I found that people relate to it as well. And I think when you see that, it kind of gives you the confidence to be able to open up even more and like share more stories. And then it kind of makes people feel less alone, and you find that connection with a lot of different people. And I was saying this on another reel that I recently made, but it might be like the jewelry that brings people to you, but it's like the connection that really makes it special. So, yeah, I think it's kind of connecting with people and finding your community. That's kind of what's really helped me like feel a lot more confident recently.
Oh my goodness. I love hearing that so much. And for anyone who doesn't know you and know your jewelry brand, give them a little quick intro as to who you are and what you do. Because when you listeners like understand why you even started this jewelry business, and the meaning behind your jewelry and how it's there to spark conversations, this is gonna have even more of an impact.
Yeah, so the whole idea behind July Studio Creations is to create jewelry that sparks conversations. And I really want to kind of like redefine how people wear jewelry. And I want the jewelry to be kind of like a source of connection for people and to really help people step out of their comfort zone. Because when I was growing up, I was like super shy. I was that person who wanted to hide into the background, didn't want to speak up, didn't want to be the center of attention, didn't want to have any eyes on me. I just wanted to like sink into the background and just listen rather than like talk. And I always wondered whether I would be like confident enough to like really be myself. And I think I kind of it probably wasn't until like after uni where I kind of started to step out of my shell a little bit more. And wearing my own jewelry, I experienced things like people complimenting my jewelry, and that was like the start of sparking a conversation, and then we would connect over the jewelry, and I felt like I was able to kind of talk like I had a topic to actually talk about, because sometimes when you're in like a group of new people or like a large group, like I felt like I never knew what to say, or like I didn't know how to start a conversation. So having that jewelry there made it a lot easier for me, because that was like the start of the conversation. And then because it was something that I was so passionate about, I felt like I could actually like give value and like talk about something that I was actually interested in. And then it kind of like snowballed from there. And I really want other people to kind of feel the same way as well. And I've had like really positive feedback from people who have kind of experienced the same thing as well. And there was one customer who was telling me how she had got a necklace and she wore it to her friend's gathering, and she didn't know anyone there apart from her friend, and she was sat opposite someone, and the person opposite her complimented her necklace, and that was the start of their conversation. So it's things like that that I really want people to kind of experience, and have the jewelry as kind of like the connection that kind of starts a conversation really.
I just love this so, so much. I think you have the absolute best niche for you and your story, and just the impact it's had not only on you stepping more into yourself, but also, like you said, the impact your jewelry has on your customers, on helping them find their voice, on helping them, engage in conversation. That's life changing for a lot of people. And I see a lot of myself in you. I think we're very similar in so many ways, because I also was the quietest, shyest, take up as little space as possible person for most of my life, quite honestly. And I've seen firsthand how game changing it has been for my self worth, for my confidence, for my sense of community and connection, and just like how much happier I am now that I take up space and I speak and I connect. And so creating jewelry and putting it out into the world that helps other women do that, that's life changing for people. And so I really love that. I love that you've got this impact driven jewelry business. Now, you weren't focused on that niche before. It was more like polymer floral jewelry, am I
Yeah,
correct? When you
yeah.
came. So you came in, and I think it took a good amount of time. Like finding your niche and niching down is not always quick and easy and clear. For some people it is, for sometimes it just takes some time. Would you say without niching down, you would have had the results you've had in your business over the last 2 years?
I think it would have been a lot more difficult, because I wouldn't have had a clear message, or I would have been speaking to a lot more people. And I think when we were at the retreat, I think when we were talking about our niche, I think the first idea that popped into my head was like women who are working in corporate, but that is just like so general and like not, it didn't feel like me. Whereas this one, like the niche that I'm going down now, I feel like it feels like me, and I can connect to it a lot more. And I think because I can actually connect to it, and I've got like I can like really share the values, which is why like the jewelry business I feel like has similar values to like what I believe in as well, and I think that makes it a lot easier. And I think because of that, I can like really be a lot more open and like share things in a lot more detail and just go. I don't know, everything just like feels stronger when you've got that one thing that kind of clicks.
100%. It's game changing because without being clear on your messaging and your niche and who you're speaking to and the transformation essentially that people get when they buy your jewelry, it doesn't matter how much marketing you do. It's just gonna feel harder. It just feels harder. So I'm so thrilled for you that you've got clarity over this, and then you've gone all in on like sharing it and marketing it and showing up and taking up space. And so obviously a lot has changed. When you came in, you were working full time in corporate, building this on the side.
Yeah.
Talk us through the biggest win over the last, you've been in the academy for 3 years, but what has been the biggest win?
The biggest win since working with you, Robert, is probably being able to quit my corporate job and like having the confidence to actually do that. I had gone, I think the last time we spoke, I had gone down to working 4 days, and I was using the Friday to work on my jewelry business and the weekends as well. But I think having that confidence to be able to quit my corporate job and like go all in into my jewelry business has been like game changing, because I feel like now I've got a lot more headspace to really think about like the direction that I want to take the business into. And yeah, I just feel like I've got a lot more freedom now, and I can really like do what I want. I've got control over my own time. I can do things that the way that I want to do them, and I don't have to like answer to anyone. I think that's one of the best things as well.
It's the best feeling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like having ownership of your time, like how does that really feel?
It's amazing. Like I can just go to the gym in the middle of the day, whereas you would never be able to do that if you were working a corporate job. And being able to like take breaks when you want to, taking a break day because you feel like it, and not having to worry that someone's going to judge you for that. Yeah, it's just things like that that you take for granted, but yeah, it's just been amazing.
Oh my gosh. Well, huge congrats again. I'm still so thrilled that you put the work in, you took the leap, and now you're a full-time designer, and you have been for close to, it's coming up for a year soon. That you would have
Yeah,
been
a couple more months it will be. Yeah,
Yeah, you are coming up. That's so exciting, Emily. And I think that's something that a lot of people dream of, and they tell themselves, "Oh, that's just like a wild, wild dream. I could never possibly go full time in my jewelry business. That's for other people. It's not for me. You know, maybe I'm too quiet, or I'm too shy, or I'm too soft spoken, or I'm not like bold enough to go do something like that." What would you say to that person listening who needs to hear what maybe you needed to hear a couple of years ago?
yeah. I think I was probably thinking the same thing. Like a couple of years ago, I never would have imagined that I would have been able to do this. But I think it's like continuing to put the work in and be clear on like what you actually want in a couple of years' time. Like imagine yourself in like 10 years' time. Like, would you regret not making that switch and like spending those additional years like working on your passion? Like how would you feel if you didn't make that choice? And I think when I was envisioning myself in that position, I just couldn't imagine myself in another 5 years like still working a corporate job. Like that was, yeah, I just couldn't imagine it. So I thought I would, yeah, just take the leap and like really put my all into trying to make this work. And I'm like, yeah, I just really want to be able to do this full time and like have freedom over what I do. I think like that's probably one of the biggest drivers that made me want to make the switch as well. And it is hard, but I think like the rewards are a lot bigger.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
everything I find worth doing in life is hard.
Yeah.
Like, even if you want to get a puppy, getting a puppy is so cute. And, like, there's such a lot of work. Building a business, going full time, it's hard. It's a responsibility. And, like if the long-term impact of staying the course and like showing up and building a really profitable business like can be absolutely game changing. But even immediately upon going full time, that ownership of your time that you get on day one of
Yeah.
being a full-time entrepreneur, it's suddenly like, oh wait, like I can go for lunch, or I can have a little nap, or I can go to the gym, or it's not raining right now, I can go for a little walk in the middle of my day. That to me is like the most impactful win that all entrepreneurs who take that leap to go full time get to enjoy right away. And that's probably one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Um,
100%. Yeah.
it's so beautiful. So what would you say, like being working with me and like being in the academy over this period, how has that helped you with like taking that leap? How's that impacted you over the last 3 years?
I think the key things are probably the community and having that accountability from you, Robin, as well. I think really helps with staying on track. And yeah, I think it's just like being able to learn from everyone. And because everyone is kind of like at different stages, it's been really useful to hear how other people who might be like a couple of years ahead of like where I might be, like what they're going through and like thinking about how I like what would I do in their shoes and like being able to learn from their experiences has been really helpful. And yeah, I think like the accountability part is really important as well because before I joined the Jewelry Business Academy and before I was working with you, I didn't really have like anyone to say this is kind of what you need to do and like step by step, and like having that clear strategy I think really helped me kind of grow and like feel confident that I was capable of being able to do what I wanted to do. So yeah, those I'd say those things.
Oh, I love that so much. And when we're talking about going full time is also very scary. Even with a support system in place, what fears came up for you before going full time?
The number one thing was probably not having a stable income because it kind of flip flops throughout the whole year, especially for a jewelry business. I think it's kind of towards the end of the year and like during Christmas where it gets busier for me. So having an unstable income was the scariest thing. But luckily I've got like a really supportive partner who's able to like support me throughout the year. So I felt kind of comfortable to be able to take the leap. But even if I didn't have that, I feel like I still kind of would have made the leap sooner or later just because I wanted to put my all into it and like really pursue my passion. But yeah, I'd say that was the scariest thing.
Yeah, that's so valid because that is like that's not a joke. That's not a like, oh well, no, that's an irrational fear. It's a very rational, very valid fear.
Yeah.
How did having the support inside the academy, support of coming to calls and help you navigate those fears?
I think it was probably having a clear plan of what I needed to do, and especially with like the different frameworks that you've got and the different step-by-step things that we need to do. For example, with like launches, I know exactly what I need to do, and with wholesale outreach, for example, I know what I need to do. So it's like being able to see and like have kind of like a checklist of things that I need to to be able to do to reach specific goals. Knowing that that was kind of there gave me kind of reassurance of kind of me not having to worry about whether I'd get stuck or whether I'd be getting confused about what I needed to do. It was just like having that reassurance there, and also like you, Robin, being available and like having the Facebook group and like the group coaching calls, having access to that, I think was definitely another thing that felt reassuring as well. Like those are kind of places where you can bring any questions or like doubts that you have and like share and like chat and like talk through problems that you've got. And having that there, I think is definitely one of the things that I felt like I kind of needed to have in place, as it's just like another thing to hold you accountable, really. So yeah.
I love hearing that, Emily. And when you look back over the past like few months and the past 3 years, what do you think would have felt harder about growing your jewelry business and even making the leap from corporate to full time if you'd been trying to figure out everything alone?
I think the hardest thing is probably not having a clear plan, because like before I joined, I would like I had access to different resources, and I was like reading loads of stuff on the internet. I was like buying different like ebooks, and I don't know why they just like didn't work. Like I just like wouldn't stick with it, and I think it was because like I didn't have like the community there, and I didn't have people to kind of talk to and like talk through the problems. And I think not having the community there would definitely have been the hardest thing, because everyone in the Jewelry Business Academy kind of like knows what you're going through, and you can kind of like give advice to each other, and you're able to like learn from each other's experiences. And I think that's kind of like the most valuable thing, because like people who aren't going through, or like people who don't have a jewelry business might give you advice, but they kind of, I don't know, like they don't really know what it feels like, and they don't know what you actually need to do. So I think having access and like being able to speak to people who are going through the same thing is probably the most valuable thing. And like if I didn't have that, that would have been extremely hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And when you're looking at like how you showed up for your business and how you saw yourself when you were building this on the side versus how you see yourself now as a full-time jewelry business owner, like how do you see yourself now compared to before?
Definitely a lot more confident, and I think confident in myself. Like I feel like I just felt like I had a lot of self-doubt, and I wasn't sure I was capable of like doing these really cool things. Because like just thinking back to when I was growing up, like I never envisioned myself as someone who was able to kind of like, I don't know, like talk to the camera or like have my own business and like be able to talk about it to strangers. Like that's something that would have been completely out of my comfort zone when I was younger. So it's really cool to actually reflect back and like see how I've kind of gone through a journey. And even in the past couple of years, I feel like I've grown in confidence in being able to talk about my jewelry, especially in like markets. And the way that I talk about it has definitely changed since the first time I did a market. And yeah, now I just feel like a lot more comfortable in talking about it. And I don't feel like it's a little side thing that I'm like embarrassed about. Yeah, it's just, I feel different. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And you show up differently as well. Like it's noticeable from the outside. It's actually just been the most like beautiful thing to witness, you stepping more and more outside of your comfort zone and being so visible online. Like really taking up more and more space, and like you could still have lots of space more to take up, but like it's been beautiful to witness. How has becoming more confident and feeling more worthy of taking up space and using your voice more in your business impacted your personal life?
I feel like I'm kind of able to be more vulnerable. Like I'm able to have like, I don't know, I feel more confident in being able to have conversations that I probably wouldn't have felt confident in having before. Just because through like talking about social, like my story on social media, I feel like I've been able to open up more and like be more vulnerable, and kind of practicing that I feel like has helped me do the same in my personal life as well. So I think that's been really cool to kind of experience, because I probably never would have thought that I would be able to do that.
That makes me so happy to hear because I know what that transformation's like because I've
Yeah.
literally gone through the same. I've seen the impact of getting confident by taking action, of using my voice and taking up space and becoming a better communicator. And like, I've seen the impact that has had on my friendships and my community and my sense of connection to everyone around me outside of my business. And it's been the most beautiful thing to live through and to experience. And so I'm so thrilled for you to be going through that as well. For someone listening who's like, oh my gosh, that is my dream. Like the idea that I could learn the skills to become more confident, that not only is going to help my business but is also going to help my personal life and help me. That just sounds absolutely wonderful, but I'm like scared that it's just ingrained in me that I'm a shy, quiet person and that's how I'm going to live the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I kind of like felt, I probably would have thought the same thing a couple of years ago, but it doesn't happen overnight. Like you have to practice it, and it's like a muscle that needs to be trained. And I think doing the reps and like posting consistently on social media and like learning to use my voice and tell stories has kind of definitely helped me build that confidence. And it probably took I don't know, like over a year to be able to get to that place. And it's like, it sounds like a long time, but I think like once you kind of get over that first step of like showing your face on social media or telling that story, once you kind of see the results and like see other people relate to it, it kind of makes it feel worth it. And I think the main thing for me was finding that community and like finding people who related to my story and being able to tell them that like they're not alone in feeling the way that they feel, because I was in their shoes as well. And I think that's probably the most special thing, is being able to share that and tell them that like your voice deserves to be heard. So yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So, so beautiful. And even just like watching you talk about this, Emily, like it lights you up so much.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of being a jewelry business owner?
Um, there's lots of things. It's hard to pick one. I probably wouldn't have said this a couple of years ago, but I think it's being able to speak to people in person and like do markets and like have the direct feedback. And I think making those connections is probably my favorite thing. And obviously, like designing the jewelry, that's super fun as well. But I think it's like having those connections and like seeing people's reactions to the jewelry that like you've created with your own hands, seeing how your jewelry affects them is something that's really special. And I don't think there's anything like it.
Oh, no, I absolutely love that. And, even just hearing that story, it's kind of making me look at this from even another perspective where it looks like I know you were always showing up for life, participating, but it feels like now you're really participating in life.
Mm,
From like sitting on the sidelines, walking into a room, hoping nobody sees you or asks you a question, from wanting to be invisible, because that was me as well, to like actually being like, the fact that one of your favorite things is talking to customers at
yeah,
events is wild to me.
yeah,
Would you
it
say
is
that
really weird.
resonates? Where
Yeah,
it's like
it's
now you're actively participating and enjoying life.
literally, yeah. It's so weird because I joined, there were two networking events that I joined a couple of months ago, and like in the past, I don't know if you ever felt this, but when you kind of like speak in front of like loads of people, especially people that you've never met before, like my heart would like be racing like so quickly, and I would always have to like rehearse what I would say in my head before I would say it out loud. And if I wanted to say something, I would kind of like start sweating and like my heart would be racing really quickly. But I don't know, like over the past like year or so, I feel like I've become a lot more confident in myself. And when I was at those networking events, I didn't feel that, which was really, I don't know, it felt strange to me. Like I felt confident enough to kind of like speak up and like put my hand up and like actually contribute. Um,
Oh man, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
I love that so much, Emily. Yeah, it's the wildest feeling when you do something that used to feel so scary to you, and actually public speaking or speaking with people around is like most people's biggest fear over dying. Like it beats dying. Like people would rather like people are so scared of being seen and speaking in public. Like that's a lot of people's biggest fear in the world. It's just
mm,
insane. And the fact that now you were able to talk in front of that huge group and it
yeah,
wasn't even impacting you at a
yeah,
biological level is so crazy and such beautiful proof to someone listening who's like, no, this is impossible for me. That like, hey, there's two people on this podcast right now who thought the same a couple of years
yeah,
ago,
literally.
and like we literally thought the same. What would you say is like one of the biggest things that I've helped you with over the past 3 years?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I feel like you've helped with a lot. But I think it's, I'm going to say two things. But the first thing is probably mindset. And yeah, mindset. And then the second thing is probably um, like having a clear strategy and a plan of how to actually grow. Those two things are probably, yeah, the biggest things that you, Robin, have like helped me with. Mindset, I think, because like I never would have thought that I was kind of capable of this, and it's kind of like rewiring your brain. I think there's like several things that you have to go through in order to be in a place where you feel kind of like confident enough to be be ready and like yeah, I don't, yeah, feel ready in being able to kind of like do the things that you need to do. And then having that growth plan, I feel like it's really easy because everything is like laid out step by step and I know exactly what I need to do. Um, so yeah, I'd say those two things.
I love that. That's awesome, Emily. And for someone listening to this who's like kind of maybe where you were 3 years ago, building their business on the side, maybe also is a little quieter spoken and is like, oh, I don't really want to be too visible here, but I'm like trying to build this. I'm not too sure if I'll ever be able to go full time. But they're thinking like, you know what, like maybe I could do this. Maybe I want to come join you guys in the academy and work with Robin. What would your advice be to them? Would you recommend working with me and joining the academy? And if so, why?
Yeah, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Um, I would definitely recommend working with you, Robin, because like you just get so much clarity on what you need to do, and you've definitely got to be willing to put the work in to be able to see the results. But I think you get so much out of it, and it's definitely the the community is one of the biggest things that I really value from joining the JBA as well, and being able to like learn from everyone's experiences and like being able to like actually make friends with with other people in the academy has been really really good as well, and it's been really fun to like actually meet some of them in real life and actually like create a proper friendship and connection. And I think without that, it like the journey would have been a lot harder, because you don't have, or like you don't know other people who have kind of like gone through the same journey as you, and people who haven't had the same experiences as you. I think it's a lot harder to navigate. So kind of having other people there who can give you advice and yeah, just like share experiences and like share their knowledge has been really helpful. And I think for anyone who's thinking of joining, that's probably one of the key things that I've really valued since joining the JBA.
Oh, I love that. And you know, when you're talking about the friendships that come out of it, that's something I didn't even anticipate when I was creating the program and community. And it's been the most beautiful thing to witness. Like people meeting their BFFs, like best friends, and not just one, like multiple friends who really get you, who they have really deep connections, really deep friendships. And you came to the retreat as well. Anyone who comes to the retreat, it's even goes like 10 layers deeper. And like
Yeah.
the connections the community have with one another, the little meetups they do outside of, like you're all the way in the UK and you have people in the UK that you connect with all the
Yeah.
time there as well, and in
Yeah.
Canada and the US. So I love that. It's so beautiful to see, and it's quite honestly, it's the one thing I really wish I had had when I was building my jewelry business, because I was just so lonely. I didn't have that community, and I didn't have a bestie to chit chat and like
Yeah.
and you know go through the highs and lows with, and also just have fun with. So I love hearing that so much. And I have a couple of rapid fire questions for you, Emily, because I know
Okay.
it's late where you are right now. You're in the UK, it's getting late outside. Rapid fire questions for someone who's listening who's like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. You know what? I actually think I want to come join you guys in the academy. I want to work with Robin, but like I'm going to wait a couple of months. Maybe I'll waste a couple of years and then I'm going to come in. But it's on my dream board. I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to like wait till the timing's all perfect.
I would say you'll regret it because I think what I was saying before was like if you wait like another 5 years, then you'll kind of regret the time that you wasted and think of what you could have achieved in those 5 years. And yeah, it's definitely the regret thing that I would probably think about the most, and just kind of like envision like where you actually want to be in another 10 years, like what are those things that are going to help you get there. And if joining the JBA and working with Robin is one of those things, then just do it. Like there's nothing that's really holding you back, and the the rewards that you'll see from it is absolutely worth it if you're willing to put the work in.
Yeah, 100% on putting the work in, because unfortunately I don't have a magic wand yet that I can wave and get you guys instant results. But yeah, if you're willing to show up for sure and like do the work consistently, that's what's possible. So for someone who's listening, who's maybe where you were 8 months ago, 10 months ago, working a full-time corporate job, and they're like, well, I only really have pockets of time. I don't probably don't even have enough time to come into the academy and even like make it worthwhile. What would you say to them?
I think I would say that like it's still possible to work on your jewelry business, even with limited amounts of time. And it was definitely hard, but being able to work on your jewelry business in those little pockets of time kind of help you grow steadily. And once you kind of know what you need to do, you can use those little pockets of time to kind of really drill down on like the non-negotiables that you need to do. And then once you make that leap into going full time, you'll know exactly what you need to do, and you'll kind of like double down on doing those things and doing those things that you have to do every day. And like being able to do the reps while you're not full time kind of like trains you, and it helps practice. Yeah, it helps you kind of practice the things that you need to be able to learn to do properly. And once you're full time, then you'll know exactly what you need to do, and you'll be able to kind of like do things with more confidence, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. Because yeah, when you have limited time, you want to make the most of that limited time. So yeah, I love that. And for someone who's like thinking, I want to join, but like I'm kind of scared to invest because, like, let's be real, this is not a cheap program. This is definitely quite the investment. But I'm like, I'm not really making consistent sales yet. I think I need to like figure this out and make more money before I come into the program. What would you say?
I was probably in the same shoes, and I I think I thought the same thing when you first approached me, because when we first had a conversation, I didn't join straight away,
Yeah.
and I think I waited a whole year, and and then I made the leap. But I was actually in the same place, like nothing had changed in that whole year, and I think I realized that I actually needed to take the leap to be actually to be able to see any growth, because of like all the help and like resources you would be able to provide. And yeah, so I was basically in the same shoes, and I didn't see any growth at all, and I was kind of like stuck in the same place, and I was just going around in circles, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And I yeah, like was in the same boat. Like I wasn't making consistent sales. Like I was scared about making the investment, but like since joining, I think it's 100% been worth it. And you just have to like be in the academy to be able to see, that it's worth it. But again, like I've said it multiple times, like you have to be willing to put the work in to be able to see the results. But if you are, then it's definitely a place for you.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Emily? I totally forgot that that happened. I now am recalling like you getting on a call with me because that was like
Yeah,
4 years ago,
yeah,
and we had like a lovely conversation, and then you didn't come and join us, and it took
yeah,
a year. Yeah,
yeah,
you're so right. It took a whole year, and you just reached out of the blue and were like,
yeah.
"Hey, I'm ready to
I was
roll.
ready.
I'm ready." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay."
Yeah,
So yeah, that's so interesting to hear because I completely forgot about that.
yeah,
For somebody who's thinking to themselves like, okay, I want to join, but like I need to figure things out first. I don't know my niche. Like Emily knows her niche so clearly. I need to figure out what my niche is. I need to figure out my brand story. I need to figure out the purpose. I need to figure all this stuff out before coming in and joining the program. What would you say?
you definitely don't need to have all of that figured out. I mean, there's like so many people at different stages in their jewelry business, and some people might have had their jewelry business for like 10 years, and they're still kind of like redeveloping their story, and like pivoting the direction that they're going in, and like redefining the niche that they're going into. And some people might be at the start of their journey, and they haven't kind of like got a clear idea on where they want to go down. But you, Robin, are like so helpful in being able to like help people in being able to like navigate the niche that they want to go down to, and like helping people develop the brand story as well. And I think you just have like such a clear idea on being able to like execute that so well. I think, yeah, like there's, I can't think of another place where you'll be able to kind of get the same thing.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Emily. And, you know, I want to talk about some challenges that like people like you and me from 5, 10 years ago might be thinking right now, which is like, you know what, this sounds great, but I'm really, really shy. I don't know if I can really show up like on these group coaching calls with Robin. Like I feel scared to take up space. I'm scared that Robin's gonna like push me way too far out of my comfort zone. What would you say to them?
I was definitely in the same situation. Like the first couple of group coaching calls I joined, I was like so nervous because obviously I didn't know anyone. So it was a space where I kind of just wanted to sit back and like listen. But I feel like you create such like a calming environment on the group coaching calls. Like it allows people to feel very comfortable in being able to share and open up and like be vulnerable and like share the different situations that they might be going through. And they're like you'll be able to like easily guide us into the direction that we should be going in. And even if things feel out of your comfort zone, you are still there to kind of like support us through it. And being able to use the Facebook group and like the rest of the community, it's basically there to support you. And I mean, there's loads of people who are probably feeling the same thing as you as well. And like a lot of people are having to like step out of their comfort zone, but the rewards that you will see once you do that is amazing.
That's so, it's so beautiful, Emily. And it's even just wonderful hearing your perspective from like when you first came on your first few group calls as well. And for someone listening, hearing the word group coaching calls or hot seat coaching calls and is like, I don't do group coaching calls. I don't know if group coaching is going to feel personal enough and like helpful enough for my business. What would you say?
I would say like we definitely have our own, like we have space to be able to kind of dive deep into our questions, and you definitely kind of create the space for us to be able to do that. And even if it's like a short question, you'll still give us like enough detail for us to kind of like go off and do the things that we need to do. And some of us might have like a really deep question, and you'll still kind of like know what to say and like be able to guide us in the right way. So I think the even though it's a group coaching call and there are a lot of people on it, I feel like everyone still gets their chance to speak, and everyone kind of is respectful of each other and gives everyone their time to speak, and is, yeah, it's just a really nice environment to be able to kind of like share and open up.
I love hearing that. That's awesome. And for someone who is like, I'm already listening to the podcast. I love the podcast. I've been listening for a few years and I feel like it's super valuable. And I've already seen like some growth in my business just from listening to this. So maybe I don't actually need the academy after all. What would you say to them? Do you still listen to the podcast?
Yeah, I still listen to the podcast, and it is really useful, but the academy just goes into a whole new level. Like the podcast is just surface level stuff, I'd say. But once you join the academy, there's so much more that you can learn, and you definitely can't get that on the podcast.
Yeah, I totally agree. I am biased, but I do totally agree. And for someone who has bought other courses or other programs and other resources, and they're like, okay, I bought these, but like it didn't really work for me, didn't really implement them. I don't know if you've had experience with other courses or other
Mhm.
resources, Emily, but
Yeah.
what makes the JBA different? What makes working with me different?
Yeah, I have tried other courses. I've like done ebooks. I bought books before, and none of them worked. And it's because I didn't have you. And yeah, I think like Robin, you're just like you have so much knowledge that you're able to share with everyone, and the community was something that I didn't have as well. And I think those two things are kind of like the main reasons like you're able to succeed. Like there's just like so much knowledge that you have that you're able to share with everyone that you can't get from an ebook or an online resource.
I love hearing that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, Emily. I really appreciate it. And I think we're going to have a lot of listeners who are going to deeply resonate with your story and your journey of building your business. And they're going to want to follow along and connect with you and support you. So, where can our listeners find you and how can they support you?
So you can find me on Instagram at July Studio Creations, or you can head to my website, which is www.julystudiocreations.com. And yeah, those are the two places that you'll find me. And if there are any questions, then feel free to send me a DM. And if you kind of resonated with my story about like growing up as like a shy, quiet girl and like becoming a lot more confident in myself, I feel like there's a lot of stories that I can share with you. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to DM me.
I love it. And you have a podcast.
I do, but I haven't released an episode in a while, but I do want to pick
That's
it back up
okay.
again.
That's okay. I mean, we didn't even get a chance to talk about the podcast, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
another thing that you've started
yeah,
in the last 3 years,
yeah.
which is so
Which I never
beautiful.
thought I would do. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's one I hide this in our marketing because it freaks people out, but we do get our clients to start podcasts at certain points if it makes sense for their brand. And it's all in our training, but I hide it from the front end of the marketing because it freaks people out a little bit. But yeah, I love this so much, Emily, and we'll link all those links so people can go follow along, connect, support you, listen to the podcast when it's back up. But thank you so much for being here and for sharing your journey so openly, for sharing your experience so openly. I just know it's going to inspire so many people out there, and the impact of even just like one quiet, shy spoken person seeing evidence of what's possible and making the decision to step into that version of themselves that allows themselves to be seen, that allows themselves to participate more in life. Like that can be absolutely life changing. And I can guarantee with listeners in over 98 countries, you've impacted way more than just one person by being here and sharing. So
Oh,
thank you so much for being here and sharing
thank
so
you.
openly and generously. And like I was saying to you before, before we hit record, you know, we just really want to attract more people like you into the academy because you're just such a joy to work with. You're so loved by all our members, and you're so kind and fun and friendly and do the work. Like you show up, you do the work. And so we want more people like you. So I really appreciate you sharing your experience inside the academy as well.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so lovely to speak to you and like share my story because I feel like so much has changed since the last time we spoke. So it's been really cool to kind of like reflect back on that and like share how much I feel like I've grown. So yeah, it's been really cool to chat.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you so much, Emily.
Thank you.